Hello, I'm attorney Dan Marr from the Nashua law firm of Hamlin and Kerrigan here in New Hampshire. I've been licensed and practiced in New Hampshire for over 36 years, and over 28 years I've practiced and been licensed in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I'm going to be focusing in on today's vlog about what is New Hampshire's common law spouse law. So we have a law in New Hampshire that does recognize common law spouse, but in very limited circumstances. I've heard a lot of people call over the years saying that I've been living with my significant other, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, for decades, and we're breaking up, and I want to be able to claim my common law spouse relationship. And the answer is you can't do that. This is only upon death. I'm going to tell you what the statute says. Basically, the statute in New Hampshire that only recognizes common law spouse under these limited circumstances of you've been cohabitating with the other person for 3 years, you've been reputed, meaning reputation in the general community as with friends and relatives and the like, to be married, and you acknowledge each other to be married. And in that situation, under those circumstances, one of you die, then you have a possibility of common law spouse. That can be important for asset distribution. It can be also important for survivor benefits and Social Security, because Social Security does consider the common law spouse law of the state, and if it's recognized as common law spouse, you might be able to get your Social Security death benefits as a common law spouse. You do not get it when you have a breakup, because you don't meet one of the critical elements. One of you dies. So you don't get it in a situation where you have a breakup. If you have a property that you're going into with each other you don't want to get married and you want to go into the relationship with each other, or you're entering into the house and you're going to be helping with the expenses and the other person already owns it, if you don't have the deed outright into both of your names, and if you do, I would suggest it be called tenants in common. Tenants in common is a way that when you put the deed together, your half goes wherever the way you say, and his half or her half goes wherever they say. Joint tenants with rights of survivorship, the way most title companies will set up a couple's relationship, one of you dies, it automatically goes to the other person. So if you're in a relationship and you have maybe other people you want to take care of, if things don't work out or if you pass on, you want to have tenants in common. But if you don't have that, if you have the property together and you don't have it's not deeded to each other, you want to talk about a cohabitation agreement. I prefer cohabitation agreements even if you both own title, or if you don't together have title, to discuss what happens when the breakup happens. Do you get anything out of the property? And that can be arranged ahead of time. It's similar to a prenuptial agreement in a divorce, but it is also makes even that much more sense where you're not getting the legal binds of a marriage. It makes a lot of sense for you to actually go forward with a cohabitation agreement. But let's go back to the common law spouse situation. I've had a case before where the person was generally known in the community to be reputation to be husband and wife, and one of them died, and the spouse, the girlfriend who was the mother of his children, went and specifically was claiming common law spouse. But I was able to prove at trial, because we actually had a trial in this case, that she was saying that he was physically and verbally abusive to her, that he cheated on her, and the court agreed with me. That's not acknowledging each other as husband and wife. In that unique situation, they were up in the North Country, and because they had children together, it was helpful for his business to give a reputation that they're married, because the more conservative groups up there would think differently. Most of the communities now, people are readily admitting that they're not married, that they don't want a marriage, and the friends and the relatives know that they're not married. In that situation, you don't have the reputation. So you have to have reputation, acknowledgement, cohabitating for 3 years, and one of you dies for common law spouse. It's an 18th century statute, or 19th century statute created in the 1800s, back when people living together, it was scandalous. So now it's not. So a lot of people do readily have relationships with children even, or not even. It's commonplace that people will have relationships that have children together, but they won't be married. In that situation, they tell everyone that, everyone knows that you don't have the reputation, acknowledgement, is really you're acknowledging each other as husband and wife, that you have some legal obligations to each other, not that you're together. And then one of you dies. Very tough statute or situation to arrange for. Don't rely on it if you're in a relationship, because if you break up, it's not going to help you at all. And if you're going to have a relationship on a piece of property, make sure you consider a cohabitation agreement, or at least getting your name on the deed if you truly are in that situation. And if you are in that situation, consider the difference between tenants in common, in which your respective portions go upon your death to whoever you say, and joint tenants' rights survivorship, where the first of you to die, it immediately goes to the other person by operation of law. So happy to talk to you if you have questions in regards to this. I'm at Dan Marr at 603-883-5501 at Hamlin and Carrigan, 603-883-5501, Hamlin, Carrigan, Nashua, New Hampshire. You can also check out our website, NashuaLaw, all one word.com. And if you click onto my bio, you can look at all my weekly vlogs. You can do another click and get to all my weekly vlogs. It has a variety of different topics in there. Look forward to working with you if the opportunity arises. Thank you.